The whole invitation is for you to practice along the course. And you might say, well, I sign in because I want to use it with my clients. Well, before you can use it with your clients, you have to experience it in yourself. And the way to really experience it and to go deeper in the understanding of all this is to practice a little bit every day. It doesn't need to be obsessive. It's not like, oh, 24 hours, I need to be super aware, super conscious. No, but whenever you remember, take a pause, have some deep breath, go home to the sea of tranquility point, use your hands touching your body again, because so often we are mainly on our heads. And sometimes we have a problematic relation with our body for previous experiences we have had. But a sure way to anchor ourselves in the present and to open up to inner guidance is to come back home to the body. The course is embodying safety. So not only just understanding how can I change my perspective to feel more safe, but how can I work with my neuroception, with the way my nervous system reacts, which is very much automatic and beyond our cognitive control. How can I reach in and start working with my autonomic nervous system, with my vagus nerve, to create these states of peace, to experience them, and then be able to come back to them. So don't wait until the crucial moment comes or the real sense of feeling, oh, now I need to do something. Let me see what was it we learned. How can I apply it? Or even when you are with your clients or the people that you are caring for, relatives, friends. But every day we need to practice. That's what's going to transform our nervous system. It's a beautiful journey. I mean, it's not like something, it's not a drag. And for that, the way that we have an effect on the nervous system is by practicing again and again and reshaping it, recreating these states of peace every day. In yoga, in Qigong, in all Asian traditions, it will always tell you regular sadhana means regular practice. And that's how you achieve your neuroplasticity. You create new grooves in your brain, neurons that fire together, wire together, and then you create new synapses in your brain, in your nervous system. So in as much as possible, if you can, I would ask you to keep your screens open, if it's okay with you, because it helps us to have a little bit more of a sense of a community, at least while we are talking like this. And so it helps when we can see each other. That's part of the social engagement system, right? Whether we are serious or smiling or whatever, but it's good to see the presence there. It's good for me to see you. It makes it so much more meaningful. So thank you for being there. And so I think now we should start formally. Let's move forward with our class today, and let's start with the prayer. I know that many of you are including the prayer in your practice, and I want for us to have the opportunity to practice together a little bit more, so that you can feel flowing with the practice. I'm going first to practice with you the prayer without stopping, and then I'm going to again go a little bit more on the meaning of the mudras, and maybe we'll do it again together. So let's try it together. Let's start. The hands are at the level of the heart, and this has everything to do also with our practices of today, about how to monitor and regulate our heart, our breath, and our inner state, and how to shift into states of tranquility. So this practice has a lot to do also with creating that state of tranquility. Let's practice. Dwelling in the self, I'm a seed. Pulled towards the world, I separate from thee. Expanding, I experience the various aspects of life. Now I withdraw my mind from the flow of the world and dedicate myself to thee, so that you can flow through me, revealing the reality of birth and death and the bondage of Maya. I empty myself so that I can be filled by thee. I relinquish the world and take refuge in thee. You guide the way. With strength and support. I shut out the noise of the world so that I can hear thy voice. You protect me and dispel my fear. Illusion falls away. It's just so centering, right? Because we are directing our attention and intention to the space within ourselves that's always offering guidance, and speaks with a very light voice. So it's sometimes difficult to hear it. And thank you. I'm going to just show again the mudras and give you a little bit of my interpretation of it. I mean, the poem is capturing the Sanskrit names of each of the mudras. So it's very much taking us into it. And as you practice it again and again, it will speak to you and give you significance deeper in your life. So dwelling in the self, I'm a seed. Everything is together, spirit, body, mind, breath, as we wake up every morning, and also when we were born and as little children, we are very near the spirit. Afterwards, we get to be more identified with the outer world. So dwelling in the self, and this is a position of the hands, but this way. Dwelling in the self, and at the height of the heart. Dwelling in the self, I'm a seed. Pulled towards the world, I separate from thee. Expanding, I experience the various aspects of life. 5 senses guiding us to outside, engaging us with the world. I experience the various aspects of life. How do I come out of that a little bit and be able to go inward? So, dwelling in the self, I'm a seed. Pulled towards the world, I separate from thee. Expanding, I experience the various aspects of life. Now I withdraw my mind. That's a symbolization of withdrawing the mind. Now I withdraw my mind from the flow of the world and dedicate my life to thee, so that you can flow through me. A little bit of space there for the inner to reveal to yourself, so that you can flow through me, revealing the reality of birth and death, that we are not just a body, and that we did take this body at birth and leave the body at death, but the spirit continues, revealing the reality of birth and death and the bondage of Maya. Maya is the illusion of identifying ourselves with this limited solo self. How do I come out of that illusion in which is so easily to get really stuck? I empty myself, so the left hand on top and the right hand under. The left hand representing the individual self. I empty myself so that I can be filled by thee, thee being the spirit, the higher self, which is already within us, and of course, all around us too, consciousness. So I empty myself, left on top, so that I can be filled right on top, be filled by the, I relinquish the world. So once again, we have to relinquish this identification with the world. It doesn't mean that we don't care about the world. It just means that for a moment, we relinquish the world so that we can have access to greater inner guidance and also to our prefrontal cortex. There are many studies that show that when we are worried and overwhelmed, etc., we can't solve the problems that we have, and even if we want sometimes to help in other bigger problems. So it's not that you don't care about the world, you're just finding a way to cultivate inner peace so that then more intuitions will arise, and you will see it will arise in your work, it will arise in your daily life, etc. So I empty myself so that I can be filled by the, I relinquish the world and take refuge in the, hand like this, take refuge in the, you guide the way, the right hand now on top, offering us guidance with that very gentle voice. And then we follow in that guidance. So you guide the way and I accept your guidance. I open myself to that guidance. You guide the way with strength. So we are going to have in the left hand the L, and in the right hand the I love you. And the pinky of the right hand is going to land on the index of the left. The index of the right hand is going to land on the thumb, and the other is here, can be floating or can be supported there. So what happens when the spirit lands on us is it gives us strength, calm strength, with strength and support. And the support is experienced when we allow all that to be within ourselves. So what's going to happen with the left hand that had the L is going to bring in this index finger and create like a little envelope there. And then the right hand that symbolizes the spirit is going to bring that little finger in. So we have 3 in, and it's going to come right in that envelope of the left hand of ourselves, opening ourselves to spirit. Then the thumb of the left and the index of the right are touching, almost creating like a little steeple there. And the other thumb is praying inside. So with strength and support. And we feel the support when these two hands are like this, we feel this coming back home, support to our deeper self with strength and support. And then again, I shut out the noise of the world. You need to stop and breathe and go in. I shut out the noise of the world so that I can hear thy voice, your inner guidance. I shut out the noise of the world so that I can hear thy voice. You protect me and dispel my fear. This is a no fear sign. Once I don't have any more fear, the illusion of being a separate self and struggling and all that comes down. So an illusion falls away like a leaf from a tree. Is the fear which was making us protect ourselves and close up and distrust ourselves and all that we are already seeing also with polyvagal, it falls away. And how do we do this? We need to practice every day. And the prayer that I have chosen to begin every class with in this course on embodying safety, I chose it for several reasons. One is because it reminds us of a spirit, and there's a lot of discussion about body, mind, breath, wonderful. And also let's bring the spirit in, this coming inward for inner guidance.